Hey y'all, it's Natalie for A Cherry on Top today. You can find this layout over on their blog. I am using the new Mente Playtime collection. I do think that this collection is maybe geared a little bit towards babies, but I'm not using it as a baby layout. And so I want to give you a few tips on how to kind of give some mix and match with some collections, your own vibe, and kind of make them work for whatever you want to use them for. So I'm kind of showing you the pages. Super gorgeous artwork. A little difficult to use the A sides perhaps. So the pictures are of my son and his car. Well, we'll get into that in a moment, but basically I wanted a solid navy blue background page and I didn't have one. So I'm just mixing some acrylic paint and I have my American Crafts white cardstock and I'm using a brayer to apply that acrylic paint, and I'm going to make my own navy background paper. My brayer had something yellow on it, so I went and washed it off, and now I'm just covering all of that yellow that accidentally got on the page up with more paint and just to make the background darker. So I'm going to be scrapbooking these pictures of my son who he created a derby car for the Boy Scouts car derby, and it looked like a fox. And so the Boy Scouts colors are yellow, gold, and navy blue. So that's why I wanted the navy blue background page. I thought that would be one way to help make this collection usable and maybe not necessarily be a baby page, right? So we're not keeping it really light. We're not doing pastels. We have a really nice dark background. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I'm going to go vertical here. I have my title cut out, and I want to use this Starburst stencil. So this is from Retro Summer by Simple Stories, and I'm using the Alabaster pigment ink from Brutus Monroe, and it works really lovely on this really dark background. So I'm just ink blending it through this stencil here, and it gives a really nice mixed media effect on this dark paper. And I'm also going to use it to create a little bit of splatter and add that as well. Most of that middle part is going to be covered up by the pattern paper. So I'm just doing a little bit of a starburst at the top and bottom. And I did put a poll up on my Instagram to see what the title should be. So I had a few options, and it tied. It was Sliced and Show or Foxy first place. And then my sister-in-law gave a very honorable mention of Show Me the Car Fox, you know, like the Carfax, the commercial, which I thought was really good. I didn't know if that would age well in the scrapbook. So we went with Foxy first place. So he did get first place in his competition for the design of it. I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back because, of course, I helped him, but he did paint it himself and come up with the idea all of himself. So now I'm using the B side of the paper one from the Playtime collection to create a strip of paper right down the middle there. And then this is from my stash. It's an old Echo Park paper, but it's a nice navy gingham paper. I'm going to do a really thin line of that pattern paper down the middle as well, and layer up those two patterns before I put the photos on top. So I've cut the photos down, I've backed them with white cardstock. This is how they're going to be assembled on the page. Now I'm going to start committing to sticking things down. I did use a lot of adhesive because I put that acrylic paper paint on the textured cardstock. It's going to need a lot of adhesive to stick. And so because of the texture of the cardstock, that's what kind of helped when I was spraying the color on to give it kind of different depths and textures on the page. So I really like the way that looks. My friend Jessica and I were talking about it, and I feel like if I just added a few of the like rub-ons from 49 and Market, it could almost be one of the foundation pages. It's a fun technique. I might be doing that again sometime soon. So I chose this like burnt orange color of cardstock to cut my title, and I felt like it matched the fox in the collection really well. And I did not add the white outline to those alphas because the die cuts don't have a white outline. They're laser cut die cuts, and so that is another way that you can bring cohesion to a page. So I recognized that the die cuts did not have a white border, so I didn't add a white border to my alphas. So I'm going to stick down my title with my Nuva adhesive. Those are the Jeff Alphas by Pink Fresh Studio. And then the other ones are, I think they're Momenta Alphas, the little tiny ones. And then I'm going to pop up some of the die cuts with some foam tape here, and that way I'm going to layer them up. And so I'll like stick some directly down onto the background paper and then pop up the other ones on with the foam tape, and that just gives a really nice dimension and height to some of them. And so I figured that some of the die cuts that are in the collection are kind of like concessions that you would maybe sell at the derby car race for the Boy Scouts. So I thought that I could use those and they would kind of help go along with the theme. But I also pulled out that little camper because Boy Scouts camp, and it filled that space really nicely. And I just thought, you know, you don't always have to be so literal in your usage of die cuts and things. So I wasn't, and I really think it's super cute, and I like the way that it looks, and it matches all the colors in the paper or in the layout, so I think it works. So I'm just going to layer up these die cuts, and then the last thing I'm going to do is add some white sequins around the page as you would enamel dots, but that just brings the white from the background into the rest of the layout. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Check out A Cherry on Top, their blog today. I'll link it down below, and I'll put my affiliate link in there if you would like to go buy this collection. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye y'all.